What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Swap Media YouTube channel. My name is Sean Barnard as usual, and today I'm here with a very special episode to talk about something incredibly important, and that is the man, the myth, the legend, Mac McClung. Let's get into it.
Check it out.
Step back, James Harden, right on target. Bang, bang, George Niang to Paul Reed from Tyrese Maxey. Joel
All right, so I want to kick things off. We are now through the All-Star break. A pretty overall disappointing All-Star weekend, I'll say. The All-Star game was not fun to watch. The three-point contest was a little bit of a letdown, but the highlight of it, the guy who took the cake, was absolutely Mac McClung. Not only did he ball out in the Rising Stars Challenge, put forth a very impressive performance, added 10 out of his team's 32 points in that, but the dunk contest was absolutely the exclamation point of the entire weekend. And I first want to just acknowledge how cool it is to see Mac McClung on that stage. I mean, this is a guy we're talking about. You flashback 8 years ago, and he is all over YouTube, all over Instagram, all over social media, just as a whole, dominating for his dunks in high school. And to now put that on the biggest stage, and Mac is not a guy who's had a tough stretch, and it's been a grind for him to get to this point. He's still in the G League. He was wearing a full-time Sixers uniform for the first time in that dunk contest, which is pretty nuts, but I'm happy for him. I'm happy for him to have represented that. The people that get sick of like a G League guy getting that acknowledgement, I hate to hear that, because these NBA guys won't even do it anyway. And he put on an absolute show. I mean, that was one of the greatest dunk contest performances ever. The things that he did are absolutely special. And there's just, he legitimately did things we haven't seen before in that dunk contest. And to handle things the way he did, when you look at him with the media after, like, how can you not just love this guy and like him anymore? I mean, listen to this.
I don't know. It kind of feels, ever since the beginning, I was the underdog, even when I was younger. But yeah, just like I was saying, kind of just proving yourself right and not others wrong is kind of more, it brings a little more satisfaction. So I just kind of look at it that way.
And that's what's so special to me, is I love when you can watch moments and look at guys and think this genuinely might be the best day of their life. And for Mac McClung, I think Saturday night was that night. I mean, taking control of that moment, absolutely seizing that moment, going 4 for 4 in his dunks, not missing a single attempt, having the entire crowd, having the entire internet fawning over him and just being blown away at the stuff he did was absolutely awesome. I mean, those deserve to be 450s. I know we got Lisa Leslie with the got him a 49.8 on the one dunk, but they were all perfect. You can't ask for more than that, whether it's tapping off the backboard, doing the 540, the creativity, the combination of athleticism, the surprise that it is coming out of a guy looking like Mac is amazing. And it all was a recipe for success. And this is the type of performance that can also jumpstart a career. Like, Mac McClung, for many people, was an unknown, even though it's kind of a surprise to me, because this is a guy who, once again, I've remembered since I was a kid, watching him and scrolling through Instagram and seeing all the highlight reel dunks that he was producing from 8 to 10 years ago at this point. But for some people, this was putting himself on the map, and he gets it to be seen on the greatest stage. I mean, he's getting shouted out by LeBron by how impressive his performance is. Like, that's just amazing stuff. So that is so cool to just see him seize that moment. I know there's a lot of talk about what the future is for Mac McClung with the Sixers team. He was upgraded to a two-way contest just before All-Star break. He's been balling out in the G League this year, having a very impressive season and some well-rounded numbers doing it. Assists, rebounds. I do want to give him credit. He has developed a ton. This was not a guy who is super hyped up as a prospect as far as an on-court guy beyond the dunking. I mean, he went undrafted for a reason, spent 3 years in college. The shooting was a concern. He worked his three-point percentage up to, I think, 34% by the end of his college career, but not known as a shooter. And for a guy who's 6'2" and doesn't bring too much to the table besides dunking, there's not too much of a role for you. But I am starting to believe in the Mac chain. And I'm not saying these 6 years should roll him out in the starting lineup or even give him any rotation minutes. But I would like to see this kid get a chance because he's gotten better. And there's things that are holes in his game. I mean, he's not a great defender, although he is scrappy. He's not a great playmaker, although he's gotten much better. But the Sixers need that kind of splash of, sauce, enjoyment, excitement, whatever you want to call it. That team lacks this sometimes, and Mac McClung has got it. Now, I don't think that he's a game-changing guy. I don't think he plays a role in any of the rotation. Honestly, in all likelihood, I think he probably never steps on the floor as a member of the Sixers. But I do think this is a key moment for him that could potentially open doors for his career beyond whatever would have been the case prior to the dunk contest. So shout out to Mac McClung for that. So for the time being, Mac McClung is going to be taking those trips back and forth to Delaware and Philadelphia. We'll see if he actually gets any clock. But he is a guy who's turned himself into a legitimate G League asset. I mean, he is one of the stars of this team, leading the team in scoring, one of standout, outplaying Jaden Springer, who's a first-round pick for the Sixers in many nights, and a must-watch television on a nightly basis. If you go down to those Blue Coats, I got the sweatshirt on now. They're worth taking a trip and going to see him. McClung's the star of the show. So I'm happy to see the entire world get to witness what he can do on the grand stage. This should be recognized as a great moment. I mean, he brought the dunk contest back. Everyone is saying it, and it is no joke. I mean, it is so cool to see him embracing the moment, rising up, and getting the job done. So no, I don't think Mac McClung is the next big thing for the Philadelphia 76ers, but I am happy to see him representing in that uniform. It's very cool to see him winning the dunk contest, him coming through, him delivering on what he really was made to do. I mean, these are dunks that he's been repping since he was 16 and was prepared for that moment. He said he had 8 different dunks lined up and wasn't even sure which one he was going to do going into the dunk contest. So to see that he still has all that in the bag, he already kind of invited himself back next year, was asked to come back, and he didn't turn it down. He also said he's not shy about whoever wants to come join him. So I hope there's some sort of competition next year.
Is there anyone you would like to challenge to join you in next year's contest? Don't be shy.
Man, whoever wants to. I'm a big believer in just doing whatever you want to do, and whoever wants to come, I'm happy to do.
Bottom line is we will see. Shout out to Mac McClung for taking control of All-Star break, taking control of All-Star weekend, being the highlight, being the show, representing the Philadelphia 76ers. And I hope that things are on the upswing. I hope this is the start of a new era for Mac McClung. Proud of him for capitalizing on the moment, and we will see what happens. Thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure to drop a like and subscribe, and I will talk with you next time.